Well, I'd like you to really talk to the players, to be honest with you. This is about them and what they did. They're amazing. And once again tonight, they picked each other up, and they did what teams do. They found ways to win, and I'm really proud of them. This is a tribute to them and our fans for helping us feel like we've arrived a little bit again. Having this ballpark full of people and seeing the way our kids responded to the crowd is something that I've ached for ever since we came back, to see that. And I knew in my heart it could happen, but it's happening because these players, and they've given the fans something to kind of fall in love with again and make coming to a baseball game fun. And you see people tailgating and showing up and filling the stands, and that's what we want for this program, so these kids can have a life experience they'll never forget. Assistant coaches were amazing the whole tournament. I don't think people understand the amount of work that goes into preparing for 3 different ball clubs when you have no earthly idea who you're going to play until an hour and a half before you play. And you have to be ready for a Nebraska club that we thought was extremely good. So you spend all the time on their hitters and spray charts and pitchers, only to flip the switch and play a Fullerton team that everybody said, you know, despite their record, would come in here and beat us, from what I was told by the experts, and rightfully so. They got the best ERA in the country, and people thought that, but our kids wouldn't have anything to do with it. They defended their turf, which we've talked about. They handled the moments, and they handled the pitches, and I think our assistant coaches are the best there is. People ask all the time, you know, how are your players able to do what they do? It's because of the influence these guys have on them every single day. They make them tough. They make them better players. They help them grow. And we're doing a lot of it with some young kids too. So, but talk to the players. They're the heroes. Thank you.
Donnie, Coach said Oklahoma State's back. This is really a big moment for this team. Just your thoughts on what you guys have accomplished over this weekend and looking into next weekend.
We put a lot of hard work in throughout the season. We've been ups and downs, and I can tell you one thing about this team: we're resilient. Even when we're down, we know we're calm and we can come back and make a run at it. I'm just very proud of our team and our coaches and the opportunity we have, and looking forward to next week.
Brendan, when your guys get the lead there in the seventh, I know you hopped up in the bullpen and started working out. I guess what was the motivation in the bullpen, getting ready, knowing that you were going to go the last 2 innings?
Well, I knew if we got the lead, they'd already told me that I was in. I was already up, moving around, stretching and stuff, and as soon as we got the lead, I started throwing.
Just talk about your approach on the mound after seeing them last night, and then
It's the same all the time. Nothing changes.
not even in the moment.
Nope.
Tim, kind of describe your at-bat in the seventh, the big clutch statement you had to put you guys in the lead.
Well, the 3 guys in front of me did a good job of, setting the table and, giving me the opportunity to come up. And Josh just told me, just live in the moment and win a pitch. And got a good pitch to hit and didn't try to do too much.
At that point, it was first pitch, so you obviously saw what you wanted on the first one. Were you thinking, I'm first pitch swinging here?
Not really. I was just, if it was there, I was gonna, just try and win it, see if I could put a good swing on it. And I got a good pitch to hit, put a good swing on it, and took the lead.
Tim, what was it like to see freshman pitchers really lock down this weekend? Buffett, Cobb, and the rest didn't allow an earned run.
It's awesome. Those guys put in just as hard work as all of the older guys, as the veterans, and to come out and gain that experience and just go out there. And Cobb did a great job today. I was so happy for Cobb because he can pitch like that, and just to see him go out there and give us those quality innings, that was big, and it'll help him greatly.
The
storyline just seems to continue. You guys fall behind, but do your usual thing and come back. Just kind of talk about where you guys felt like you were when you're down 4-0.
Is it me? What did you say again?
Just coming back again. It just seems to keep repeating itself here.
Oh yeah, I think that's the best part of our team. I think everybody feels like they got a couple runs on the board. I think there's no nervousness or heads down when we're throughout the game. We know we can come back, and just a resilient team. And I mean, I love these guys. I've never been a part of a team like this before, and so it's a lot of fun.
Your fan club in the stands, your relatives said in Oklahoma City there was some concern. You had some concern that you just weren't hitting the ball as well, but you kind of caught fire in the Big 12 tournament. Talk about that aspect, and then go through your at-bat on the home run.
I've just kept grinding. That's the thing. That's what our whole team is about. And that's just like Donnie said, our team's resilient. And I just happened to get some good pitches to hit, and I just put some good swings on them. But some guys behind us did a really, really great job, like the pitching staff. And up and down the lineup has just been really, really good throughout this whole tournament. So,
talk about your home run at bat.
It was 2-0 count. I was just trying to get a pitch to hit, and happened to be there and just put a good swing on it. Tim did a good job to get on base, and it turned out good for us. So,
Donnie, how big of a momentum boost do you think that was? I mean, it cuts it down to a one-run game, and you seem to make the entire team more loose when they were at bat, as opposed to early in the game where one pitch outs.
Oh yeah, I think up and down the lineup, guys contribute this game. Connor had a great swing, and Tim getting on and stuff like that, and great pitching by Cobb and all of them. But up and down the lineup, we execute our bats and stick with our approach. That momentum carries over, and you saw it tonight.
Coach Holliday mentioned this team's doing this year with a lot of young players. As an older player, how appreciative are you of the way these guys have come along and the way this team has kind of come together just in time for you to have a really fun swan song?
I appreciate all of them. Cobb comes in right there and eats up innings. Comes in, got out of a few big jams. Battenfield's been good for us all year. Even Garrett coming in, I mean, even though he hit the guy, we still had confidence in him going out there and doing what he's capable of. And, I mean, Buffett's been good all year, so it's what we expect of him.
Any other questions for these guys? All right, thank you, guys.
Josh, there was a time when you guys would get a big crowd and not play your best games. How fun was this to really play well and with those crowds here for all weekend long?
I think the best way I could describe it to you is just the process of teams growing up and learning how to handle every new situation that gets thrown at you. Sometimes you react differently to things, but once you've seen them a time or two, you have a greater level of comfort when you see it again. And that's been a growth process for us. I mean, it's been a growth process for the program. And it continues to be that way for the idea of what this should look like, feel like, sound like, taste like for all of us. And I'm so thankful to the fans for making this real. That was what regionals are supposed to be like at home. It's why you fight like crazy to get one. So you have that advantage of rallying back and winning, like we just did, against a great team. That's not easy to do. What these kids are doing is amazing, amazing. I may coach the rest of my life and never be on a team that rallies back like these kids do. They're fantastic. And when your home crowd can start to get involved and be a part of that, inspire you. The kids are dragging, man. They're fighting hard. It's hot. We've played a lot of baseball. I had some concerns after the Big 12 tournament because of the ridiculous amount of hours and the nonsense of the rain delays and the turnaround that these guys would maybe have a hard time finding it again because of how many times they've gone to it, but it's become who they are. And our fans and everyone that's helped make this thing happen again, I'm so grateful to them because I've stayed up at night losing sleep in the last 2 years thinking about how to reestablish the culture of this being a big deal. I want this to be a big deal for the kids that play here. And I'm so thankful that the kids got to see it. It kind of makes me feel whole in a lot of ways when it comes to the program. It makes me feel like people are back for the kids, and I think the kids will respond.
Josh, there's been so much talk this year, obviously, about the resiliency of your team, but can you put a finger on what creates that or where it comes from?
Sure. Once you do it once, you understand how to do it. You don't overreact when things don't go your way. You don't scream and cuss and beat kids up over things not going well. You encourage. You pat them on the back. You learn to turn the page and move forward. You learn to do the things that help you grow instead of dwelling on the things that keep you down. And that's something our coaching philosophy is built on. It's something that makes us who we are. It's what makes us love to coach. And what eventually happens is it allows the kids to love to bounce back. Because there's no better feeling than to get back up when you've fallen down. And there's no better feeling than to have a bad at bat and 3 innings later turn the page and have a good at bat. Or make an error and come to home plate and do something about it. And this is something you have to teach kids in terms of just letting them know that there is failure involved in baseball. And it's not if you fail. You're going to fail. It's what you do after you fail that determines if you succeed. And so I was a good enough player to taste some success and a crummy enough player to fail enough to learn how to deal with it. And when you can share that perspective with your players, then they learn to give themselves some grace when things don't go their way and bounce back. And that's what you're teaching kids. And that's what they're doing for each other. Tyler Nurden feels good right now because of what Trey Kopp did. And it allows Tyler Nurden to grow. And it allows guys to look at what being on a team is really about. And so for me, that's where these guys learn to trust each other. And they learn to find a way to be encouraging rather than discouraging, and they find a way to shine rather than whine. And that's who we are.
You talk about the poise of the freshman pitchers this weekend in this big of a moment to go 13 innings, no earned runs.
It's awesome. Awesome. Compliment to the kids for how much they've grown. Compliment to Rob for the amazing amount of man hours he has put in talking to them about the mental side of pitching and baseball and college and just growing, helping them grow, and compliment to the defense behind them because I think we've defended exceptionally well. And we made the decision when we were hired to build this team through youth, to do it the right way so that we could hopefully establish long-term sustainability in a program where kids playing here are here for 3 and 4 years, they graduate, they fall in love with Oklahoma State, and they wear this uniform with a lot of pride. That's how we decided we were going to do this. And part of that was running out there a bunch of freshmen this year knowing, hey, we're going to take some lumps. I mean, it's going to be some days where you're going to scratch your head. But those kids have grown up. And thankfully, that great blend of the upperclassmen and their courage and the way that so many of them have played has allowed this to be a successful team during that process.
Josh, your counterpart at Cal State Fullerton, Coach Vanderhook, unsolicited, used the word attitude. He said they've got the Oklahoma State attitude back. That's got to be a pretty high compliment for you, for another coach to say that.
Well, that's about as nice a thing as someone could say about you. And mostly it's a compliment to the kids because you see it and feel it when you watch kids compete. And coming from a program like Fullerton where they're built on attitude and they know what that feels like and looks like, it's an awfully nice thing of Coach Vanderhook to say. But I think, again, the biggest goal is to establish a culture that kids can identify to and who we are. And once those kids start to take pride in that, they step forward and they don't retreat. And tonight we really stepped forward. That's a tricky game to play strategy-wise because if you're on the wrong side of the scoreboard, you don't know how fast to run to your bullpen and use up guys that maybe you need tomorrow. You know, I had a list of moves that we were going to make depending on the score in the inning so that if the game didn't go our way, we weren't jeopardizing our ability to line up tomorrow and have a good, solid game plan in what would have been the final game had we not won. So the way the kids responded in those middle innings made those decisions much more challenging. But I really felt like we were going to win. I did. I just knew it. I looked at them and I could tell the way they were still going about it. And I felt like Fullerton was maybe hanging on a little bit after that first inning. And I felt it was time. And when Connor hit that homer, it's like, okay, we're going to go hard and aggressive now because we win games when we're down by a run. We win them.
Those of us that stayed up last night saw a team do exactly what you said. Make moves to preserve themselves. Oregon State had to do that last night in that blowout with Cal Irvine. Talk about the relaxing feeling or the fun it is to sit back now and watch somebody battle and figure out who you're going to play.
I don't care who we play, to be honest with you.
Not curious?
I'm not curious. I don't care. All I know is our kids are guaranteed another week together, and I'm guaranteed another week with them, and that's all I care about. And wherever that's at, whoever we play, we're game. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I do not care. When the pairings were announced last week, you heard grunts and groans. Who cares? We're together. We get to keep playing. We get to keep wearing this uniform. And wherever they send us or whatever happens, we're going to embrace it, man. Because the alternative is not being together. And that's hard to even think about.
Just talk a little bit about Connor and his back kind of coming alive for you here lately.
Huge. Really has been a part of the ability of our team to have some dramatic moments. Power is rare in college baseball these days, and we're lucky to have some guys in the middle of that order that have some of it. You think of his home runs as of late, Brian Case's home runs as of late, the Cornell home run down there, Fish has hit a few. We just, the kids just most proud of how they're getting better. They've really gotten better. A lot of these kids, in the middle of the year, were just trying to find their way, and they have gotten better, and that's because of how hard they work. So Connor's been huge. Connor's a kid for me that, with continued growth and really starting to understand himself, has tremendous ability. I think he can really turn into something special.
Anything else for Coach?
I have a question. Coach, can we leave this room like it is for one more week just in case we need it?
That'd be awesome. And maybe they'll put the All-American plaques up there, and I can tell you about all those guys next week. That'd be awesome. But like I said, whatever happens, wherever we go, thank you guys. If I don't see you guys again, whatever.
Oh, no, the hero statement's pretty effective. You ought to use that in recruiting. Robert?
Don't think that we don't. We use anything and everything that's ever really happened here, and we've predicted what we think is going to happen. Okay, is that good? Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all being here. Thanks.